We're so excited to have you here. Um, I'm Natalia Carrasco. I'm the director of the Business Advising Program here at PCV. Should we wait for a couple of minutes, or should we just get started? I think we have our guests already here. Should just go ahead.
Yeah, I think we can just get started.
Fantastic. All right, so I will kick us off. So today, welcome everyone, first and foremost. My name is Natalia Carrasco, like I was saying. I'm here with Morgan Dickerson, who's our program manager for the Business Advising Program. We're so excited to have you here because this Business Advising Support Group and a small business support group has been a dream of ours, and it's really exciting to see it come to fruition. So today we're going to talk about a big picture overview of PCV and what we do, our Business Advising Program, and what the Small Business Support Circle is. Big picture for some of our prospective new support circle members, and a refresher for all of our existing partners. Then we're going to talk about just your experience as a referral partner, what point of view, what's it mean for you. Morgan's going to show you some of the resources that we've put together to make this super easy for you. And we're going to do a little impacts. We'll talk to you a little bit about data. Pardon? I don't know how to pronounce it, but you know, the proof is in the data. And then we want to make sure this is as interactive as possible. So we're going to leave ample time for any and all of your questions. So please feel free to use the chat tool on the right or the Q&A options and ask any and all questions. You don't have to wait till the end. We're going to be monitoring the questions as we go as well. So feel free to not interrupt, but intercede. All right, so like I said, interrupt as you want. We won't take it as an interruption. All right, Morgan, if you could go to the next slide, please. We're doing a teamwork here. So PCV is a nonprofit. We're based in Oakland, California, but we work across the country. We've been around for 22 years with a whole purpose of empowering small businesses so they can grow their businesses and create jobs. So those jobs can help transform families, and families can help transform entire communities. So we envision a world where everyone has a fair shake. So we're looking for different ways to utilize business and the economy as forces for social good. So we do that through our integrative model that combines affordable lending through our lending program here in California, through pre-mentorship, and then also through social impact measurement and management, research and consulting. So we have the three arms, and we work together with this one goal. Today, we're here to talk about our support circle and how you come into this whole model. If we can go to the next slide, please. So we, especially now with this terrible times that small businesses are going through, we've got to the realization there are so many people, organizations, individuals, foundations that are invested in the success and resilience of small businesses. So we've been shaping this even before the crisis, but it became way more important after the COVID crisis. We said, why don't we all join forces? We all have different things to offer, but by joining forces, we can support small business owners even more so. So we have Kaiser Permanente, who came in as an anchor partner, and we put together what this support circle is. Everyone brings something, and we all have this goal of supporting and empowering small businesses so they can grow in a resilient way. So all of our partners play different roles. Some are sponsoring access for small business owners. Some are supporting us financially. Some are helping us reach the small business owners that need our help at scale country. But half of the people we serve historically have been in California. So we want to make sure, especially people of color and underserved entrepreneurs across the country, have access to all of the support and help that they may need. So that's where our exciting and amazing referral partners come in. You guys. So we realized we can try to reach small business owners here and there, but the way to do it at scale is by joining forces with you. And if we've discovered that one of the things that it's a common thread among all of the small business owners out there is that their needs are very, very varied and their needs evolve. So some people could come in and offer folks capital, which is fantastic, but there's other 3 or 5 or 7 other things entrepreneurs need. So that's where the business advising program comes in as a complement for these other needs that they may need help with their financial operations or setting up an online presence, digital marketing in general, figuring out how to pivot, etc. Or there's people that are great partners at 1863 and ICAC that offer fantastic training and leadership accelerator tools. But they also are offering certain things, and then there's the other things. So we figured out that the best way was, okay, we can come in and complement whatever it is that you're doing with the other things that they may need. And the way that we do it is through our fantastic volunteer advisors. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that in the next slide, but that's what the support circle is. Let's say, okay, I'm doing this, but entrepreneurs need this, that, and the other. So for the that and the other part is where our business advising program comes in. I want to give a big shout out to all of our support circle members so far and welcome everyone who's here in the call, and so excited to continue onboarding more of you. So tell your friends. So next slide, please. I was talking about business advising being the best complement to small business services out there. I'm going to explain you how it works, but the best thing that I want you to take away about it is that we're very much tech-enabled and that we really leverage and take advantage of technology a lot, but ultimately we're people-driven. That's our secret sauce. You have a real human being in Morgan ready to support you and help you through this partnership, and then the small business owners that you refer to us are going to have a real human being that they can email support. So this is how it works. Our small business owners and our advisors on the other side will log in whenever their schedule allows into our website, tell us about themselves, tell us about their businesses and their needs, and that information goes into our algorithm. At the end of that, they will also select a time around their own schedule to schedule a call with a relationship manager in our team. This is the team Morgan manages. Danielle, and Kim are rockstar relationship managers. Then meet with them for a half hour on the phone. About them. Get to their businesses, of course, but personalities, their working styles, help them figure out, for example, they may come and say, I need help just increasing revenues in general, but let's dig into that. Is it digital marketing? Is it sales? So they can figure out, okay, your perfect advisor will look a little bit like this. So after getting to know our small business owners, our relationship managers input that information into algorithm, and our algorithm suggests maybe 5 potential matches. This is a great thing. The final match is not just picked by our algorithm or any computer. The final match is picked by the real human being who spent half an hour talking to the small business owner. So then we make a pick, we reach out to the advisor, say, hey, there's this amazing small business owner, this is their challenges. We think you'll be a great fit to help them because ABC. The advisor says, okay, great, I'm in, I would love to help. And then we reach out to the small business owner and say, hey, guess what? We have this, you're looking for help creating an online presence. We have a digital marketing expert from Google that is willing to help you. So we help them schedule a kickoff call, and then we give them some guidance about how they should set up their work together. Them, if they want to talk once a week, if they want to talk on the phone, if they want to talk via video, if they want to email back and forth, we let entrepreneurs shape their own experience. After that, we send them little short surveys, kind of to take the temperature on how things are going, and the relationship managers that they talk to at the beginning stay with them every step of the way. So entrepreneurs can call and say, hey, I'm not sure about my advisor, or I think I need an additional advisor, or I'm doing phone or email, or hello, Can you help me navigate the situation with my advisor, etc.? So we're there every step of the way. So yeah, this is how it works in a nutshell in terms of business advising. And I'm going to now pass the baton to Morgan.
Awesome. Thank you, Natalia. So I wanted to share a little bit more about what your small business owners can expect when they work with us. Natalia did a really great overview of the BA experience, but I wanted to share just a little bit more. So like Natalia mentioned, we've got our PCV relationship managers. So currently on our team, we've got Daniel, Danielle, and Kim, and we're working to hire at least 2 more. And like Natalia mentioned, these are the people who are ultimately responsible for the experience that small business owners have with PCV. So they're the ones who hop on the phone call, the onboarding phone call with them, help them narrow down their focus of their partnership, really truly understand their business and their business needs, and help them to identify what they want out of the PCV program. They're also the ones responsible for finding that perfect match and helping to facilitate the kickoff call. And like Natalia mentioned, they're the ones who they can just pick up the phone and call if they have a problem with, or an issue or a concern, or need additional help, or have an exciting update that they want to share. That's the one that they can reach out to. The small business owners can also expect to be paired with a business advisor. And like Natalia mentioned, they'll be working independently with their business advisor on a cadence and schedule that works best for them. We have 1,500 plus advisors in our network, and they have a wide variety of different industries and experiences and come from a bunch of different backgrounds across the country. I wanted to highlight a couple that we had here today. We had them join us for a webinar. These are what we call some of our superstar advisors. We've got Connie Sparks, for example, who's a finance specialist who works in her day job to assist small companies refine their business model and raise capital for growth. So she's joined forces with us to offer some of those services pro bono, and she's worked with 4 different small business owners in our network. We also have Noah Alper of Noah's Bagels. If you're familiar with that, it's a bagel chain, I think primarily on the West Coast, but he's the founder of Noah's Bagels. He's worked with 14 small business owners in our network, a handful of small bakeries and restaurants and food companies in San Francisco and across the country. And then Jalen Davis, he's the CEO of Walt Digital, and he's a relatively new advisor, but he's already jumped in and made such a big splash, really helping entrepreneurs focus on the relationships that they build and the marketing that they do with their customers and with other organizations. We also have my dad as an advisor in that network. He's an entrepreneur himself, and I roped him in. And we have our CEO and president, Bobal Gupta, in that pool of 1,500 as well. So we've got some really unique and talented advisors that we are excited to connect your small business owners with. We ask all of our advisors to commit 3 to 5 hours a month. But as Natalia was suggesting earlier, the cadence and the details of that, and even the amount of time that they spend varies based on partnership. We've got some advisors and small business owners that do more than that. Some, maybe 1 month they need to take off and just do maybe an hour touch base rather than a full deeper dive. So it's all based off of your entrepreneur schedules, because we know that their time is so precious. Small business owners are offered the option of having multiple advisors. So we have some small business owners in our network who've created kind of a mini advisory board. They have an advisor to help them with marketing, an advisor to help them with their finances, and an advisor to help them with their HR needs. This can happen at the same time if the small business owner has the time to do that, or it can happen, after one partnership wraps up. We can get them right into another to focus on something different in their business. And while this is kind of our bread and butter, the connecting small business owners with the advisors, PCV as an organization is doing a lot more to help support small business owners, especially during this time. So we've been hosting webinars on a variety of different topics. We have our Build Back Better webinar series where we're really talking about all things COVID. So pivoting your business strategy during this time, how to access financing during the pandemic, PPP forgiveness. These are all topics that we've had over the past couple months. And we also have our expert office hours webinar series where we're bringing in some of these awesome advisors to do like a 1-hour session, explaining a little bit more about a certain topic that they're an expert on, and answering questions, both individualized and general questions that any small business owners have. And we also have, all of our webinars posted on a calendar where we also include a curated list of webinars and offerings that some of our friends and partners are having. So Small Business Majority, I know you guys have a lot of different webinar offerings, and I've included a lot of them in our calendar as well. We created a small business support group on Facebook for all of our small businesses to join. We know that entrepreneurship can be so lonely, so we wanted to create this community for our community. And it's a place that we can share PCV updates, invitations to those webinars, but it's also a place where the entrepreneurs can come and share an exciting update from their business or ask a question to other entrepreneurs that they may not have access to talk to otherwise. PCV, our research and consulting team, created a Good Jobs, Good Business toolkit. So they did research on what does it mean to be a quality job, and what does it mean, and what does it look like to implement these different facets of a quality job at the small business owner level. So we have this toolkit that's available for all of our small business owners to use if they're interested in improving the quality of the jobs that they're offering to their employees. The partnership toolkit includes, the Good Jobs, Good Business toolkit includes actionable items, a business case, success stories, and additional resources for the entrepreneurs to work through. And we also have a dedicated cohort of advisors trained up on this toolkit should an entrepreneur come to us saying they want to help improve their job quality, but they're not exactly sure how to do it. We can pair them with an advisor to help them walk through all that. We support them, small business owners and advisors, both through our partnership toolkit. So like we were mentioning, we connect the small business owner with the advisor, and then we let them free and figure out how what it looks like, what their partnership looks like when it comes to cadence and schedule. But we are also always supporting them through the relationship manager, but also through this partnership toolkit. This toolkit includes template agendas, template goal setting worksheets, contact information for all of the PCV team members, suggested reading list, our code of conduct, all this kind of information is included there. And finally, once a small business owner signs up to be part of the business advising program, they'll be added to our monthly newsletter listing so they can see what's up to date, so they can keep up to date on all things PCV. All right, so you can, as you can tell, we do a lot more than just connecting your entrepreneurs with advisors. So that is what we know is one of the most meaningful things that we do. So next I wanted to kind of switch gears and talk about what you can expect from PCV and what you can expect when working with us as a referral partner. So to back it up, basically, like Natalia was mentioning with the small business support circle, is we realized that in order to provide our services and reach the small business owners that we want to provide our services to at scale, we want to work with organizations like yours and complement the services that you're providing with our business advising program. So once we engage in that partnership and we become an official referral partner with us through that small business support circle, we will provide you with some referral material. So templated language about how you can speak about business advising in PCV to the small business owners in your community. This could be, like I show over here, kind of newsletter language or an email, or if you want to send out a tweet. We have some examples to make your job really easy. We also have a one-pager about how business advising works. And it's just like I said, just a one-pager, one page, broken down real easy, how it works, what we're all about, that you can share with your community as well. And then once we begin working together, we can set up recurring meetings on a cadence that works with you, whether that be monthly, quarterly, whatever makes sense with our partnership, so that we can go over any questions that you have, any questions that your small business owners have, and we can also go over kind of the data share. So I want to jump into our data share document. So working with us through this referral partnership model, we want to provide you and arm you with insights into what is your community working on, where are they in the process, how many people have you referred to us, how many people are in matches, and all of that, so you really get an idea of the value that we're able to bring to your community. So we'll set something like this up for each of our different partners. And we can work together to customize as needed if there's any additional information that you're interested in seeing about your small business owners. It's something that will refresh monthly for you so that you can always kind of have a more up-to-date sense of what's going on. So we have some important kind of high-level numbers included here. So number of SBOs referred, or small business owners referred. So that's the number of businesses that you introduced us to. Whether it be a conversation that you had with them or an email that you had sent out, just a sense of how many people were introduced to PCV. We've got number of SBOs in the pipeline. So how many small business owners are working through the process of getting onboarded into our program and are waiting to be matched with an advisor. Number of small business owners matched. So how many small business owners have we connected with an advisor and provided our services to? Number of small business owners entering into multiple mentorships. So like we discussed, small business owners can request multiple advisors if that's something that they're interested in, whether it be at the same time or after one partnership has been completed. So this is really exciting for us to see, because we know, if they're coming back for more, that means that they definitely had a great time, a great experience the first time around. And then that just leads to our number of mentorships facilitated. So some high level key performance indicators to get a sense of, the impact that we're able to bring. And then I want to skip over to our complete list, the second tab that we have here. And this is going to be really how we work together through this document. What we do is we ask all of our referral partners to drop in here the information about the small business owners that you're referring us to. So you as the referral partner can enter the entrepreneur name, the business name, the phone number, the email address, and any notes that you may have about the small business or their needs or whatever they're looking for out of their relationship with PCV. What we'll then do is we'll take that and we'll keep an eye out for them in our system, and keep an eye out for them when they start signing up. And we'll provide you with an updated status of, where are they in the process. So in this example, we got Natalia here from Natalia's Knitting. She's still currently only in the invited status. So that means that, you as a referral partner reached out to Natalia and said, hey, we've got this really great opportunity for you to take advantage of. It's called PCV, Business Advising. So you had made that introduction, but we haven't seen her sign up actually yet. So just to get a sense of, okay, while she's aware of this opportunity, she hasn't signed up. She hasn't taken the initiative to sign up yet. And one thing we like to mention here is that even though Natalia didn't sign up yet, that doesn't mean we didn't provide her some really great value. Just knowing that this is an opportunity that's free and available to her is so meaningful and can really take a load off. And it's something that there's no time bound. Right now, she may not have the time to do it, but maybe a couple months down the line, she will be able to take advantage. So this is how we kind of work the referrals. Like I said, the referral partners can drop in the names of all of the entrepreneurs that they're sending our way, and then we can use that to update their status and keep an eye out for them as they're signing up. All right. All right. I'm going to switch gears real quick, and then we'll have plenty of time for lots of questions on everything that Natalia and I have gone over so far, which I know is a lot. But I just wanted to kind of close off this official presentation before jumping to the questions with that impact study that Natalia was mentioning at the start. So a couple years ago, we offered PCV's business advising to 126 small business owners participating in ICIC's entrepreneurial program. So ICIC is one of our referral partners in the small business support circle, but we've been working with them for a couple of years now. So they really helped us through this pilot and to analyze the results and the data and the impact that PCV's business advising program has compared to the participants who didn't take advantage and join the business advising program, and they didn't get paired with a coach through us. So this really helped us kind of create a controlled study of the impact that that a business advisor through PCV can have on a small business owner. So we found that businesses that participated in this pilot and in PCV's business advising program, they were twice as likely to create jobs. They grew revenue on an average of 14% higher. Some of the biggest and top job creators and the ones who made the most money through fundraising had advisors through us. So the impact was so incredible, and this was what inspired us to bring the referral partnership model to all of you guys here today. So this really helped us realize the power that we have when coming together as well and complementing the services that we have with each other. All right. So now I want to take any and all of your questions. I know we went through a lot of information about PCV, about business advising, about what you can expect, about what your small business owners can expect. Drop in the chat box or in the Q&A box any questions that you have.
I'd like to ask a question to get us started on a question that I've gotten from other referral partners in the past, maybe. And in the meantime, please feel free to add any and all of your questions, please, on the chat box. Folks have wondered in the past, what are the best things to do if they refer us to small business owners and they are not responding or they are not signing up immediately? What are, A, how can they know about this? And B, what are some things they can do?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we, like I mentioned, we provide some, templated language that you can use to spread the word about PCV and business advising. So that's always a great first step of sharing that information out. We have a lot of some of our referral partners are other CDFIs who are giving out loans in their area to small businesses. And one thing that one of our CDFI partners has done is that anytime that they close a loan and they send that loan out and approve that person for a loan, they include us as an additional resource. Another thing that we do is, at PCV, sometimes it's helpful for me to send out an email introducing them to business advising and encouraging them to sign up. Because perhaps hearing it from a different person or hearing it from somebody directly at PCV will prompt some, action.
And then I would like to add also, you can refer always to your dashboard. So you can see if you and your team are working closely with some of your partners. If you're talking, for example, to a specific small business owner, you can consult your dashboard and see, oh, they haven't signed up. Maybe I should ask them about it, nudge them, or ask any questions if they had any questions or problems signing up. That's the moment to find that out. So the great thing is that you do have your dashboard, so you can know where in our process any and all people that you have referred to us are. Great. What other questions? Questions about how to refer people, question about their experience. Great, Brian is asking here. I can read this one. As far as the partnership data sharing goes, we have a mix of high touch and low touch models, for example, through the Venturize website. Are you interested in more low touch models where the business owner may or may not be a good fit for the service? So you're thinking, well, there is the high touch where you tell us, okay, here are the 25 folks we're sending your way. Here's the information. You put it in the data sharing. And that's what the format kind of we're presenting of. And you're saying, are you also interested on, like, we may put a general link on Venturize and folks may go in and they may be a fit or they may not necessarily. You don't necessarily know because you're putting the link and you're not sending them one by one. And the answer is yes, absolutely yes. Send us any and all small business owners, because that's why we have our intake form. That's where we're going to evaluate if they're a good fit for our program. And the best thing is that if they're not, we have a variety of resources and other partners we can refer them to. So at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're helping and touching as many people as we can. So Brent is right. For folks, we may not be doing direct outreach education to. Exactly. Or maybe some people don't qualify. For example, if you're a CDFI, they may not qualify for a loan with you yet, but they could still use our help, right? So, or in your case, you have a website, you want to put a link on, that is absolutely super useful too. That's why we have our onboarding process where we're going to evaluate, are we the best possible help or not? And if not, where can we refer them to? So yeah, we're definitely interested in both.
Yeah, and I was just going to add that, some of those folks that maybe if you post out a tweet and somebody kind of not in your network sees it and is like, oh, I want to sign up for something like this, they'll sign up and we ask both in our profile and in that onboarding call, how did you hear about us? How did you come to find out and know about us? And if they were to say small business majority for example, we can add them to that data share document as well. And it may not be somebody that you're aware of or have that high touch with, but that can help you kind of create a new relationship with a new entrepreneur as well. So we have like that safety net to catch anyone that we may miss for those low touch interactions.
Perfect. What other questions?
Q&A box. I'll read this one out. We've got, what's the added value that you bring compared to, for instance, the small business development centers that are federally funded and free? I'm not saying my PCV advisor isn't great, because he is, and he's helping me big time, but aren't we getting more of the same?
Actually, I'd love if you can compliment back, and I can get us started on this one. we don't see each other as a competitor or an alternative, a mutually exclusive alternative. The value that we know we provide is that entrepreneurs' needs vary. Like I was saying, the thing that they have in common is that they're ever changing. Today, you may need help with marketing, and then you get yourself so high up that maybe then you'll need help with HR because you need to hire a bunch of folks to accommodate your new demand. And so things are going to change, and there's not one organization that can provide all of the different types of support an entrepreneur is going to need. We think that the added value that we have is that because we have 1,500 people in our portfolio, we can have a very wide range of points of views, of experience, of insights, and of skill sets too. So we think there's a lot of other organizations supporting small businesses, and they're going to be able to provide you with value, and then you're going to need other things. So that's where we come in. The other thing that we have is that the folks that are not they're volunteering with us, this is what they do for a living every day. So they have very practical, tangible, and actionable advice for you as a small business owner. So there's fantastic technical assistance programs out there, but it's something different because it's very specific. You know, if you have in-house business experts to help, you're going to be in-house in a specific topic of area of expertise, right? So what we're providing is just opening that up and complementing that with anything and everything. So today you may need this, but tomorrow it's going to change, and maybe you need someone that actually has had the experience of owning a restaurant, trying to make sure they pop up at the top of the search when someone puts, I don't know, Thai food in Oakland. Since maybe someone has already gone through it, or maybe someone's working on that algorithm that pops the things to the top. So that's where we're providing very, very tangible and actionable advice, and a very wide variety of functions, industries, and also timelines in terms of businesses cycles.
Yeah, and I would just add some of those additional kind of PCV resources that I was talking through. That took me a lot longer than I realized, because there's a lot to say about some of the other things that we're doing beyond connecting our small business owners with advisors. So the webinars that we're hosting, the expert office hours, the support group on Facebook, the Good Jobs, Good Business Toolkit, all these kind of additional initiatives that we have going on at PCV as an organization. And then just the added touch of the relationship manager. Danielle, and Kim are so excited about working with each and every small business owner in their networks. And remember them all. And if we're hosting a webinar on PPP forgiveness, they'll remember when they talk to you on the onboarding call, they'll be like, oh, I know that they got PPP and they were really nervous about how they were going to report back on it. And they'll invite them, they'll follow up with them and say, hey, we're doing this webinar on PPP forgiveness, come join us. So that human touch as well is something that really distinguishes us.
Yes. All right, we have a really good question from Jenna saying, how do you meet the needs of small business owners in regions outside of your own? How in tune is PCV with bringing in the local community context and perspective? For example, how do you go about finding the best advisor for a small business owner in the rural Southeast versus a major urban city on the West Coast? Or do you feel the issues needs are generally the same? Maybe this is all part of the algorithm. And then she complemented with saying, maybe a better question is, how widespread geographically is your network of advisors? This is one of my favorite questions because this has come up in the past. So we actually, a couple of years ago, asked folks widely if you would rather be, do you feel like you need to be matched with someone in your specific region? And we had a theory, but we wanted to check with folks. And overwhelmingly, people prefer being, no, match me with the best potential match. So that's what we do. We match people with the best potential match in the area of expertise that they need. So our algorithm takes into account business functions and areas of expertise. and then industries. And yes, we do take into the topic of regions into account, but in reality, we think we serve people in, for example, rural areas better if we give them access to advisors that would never meet otherwise, right? Because when you need help with digital marketing, for example, you need a digital marketer, someone that has experience in that, and they may not be in your specific area. So we try to match folks with the best potential advisor regardless of location, which has actually been a significant added bonus or a feature and not a problem when it comes to folks that are not in major urban areas. For example, we serve a lot of small business owners through our referral partner, ICIC, in Hawaii. And one thing that they really appreciate is to be able to have this connection to other areas and other cities where there's a lot of business professionals that may have experience in the areas that they want. The other thing is that this program is designed to be delivered remotely, right? Well before this whole world moved into remote living or remote work. So that is a great thing for small business owners, because we noticed that even with folks that were matched with someone in their same city, for example, they still chose to meet over the phone or via video or connecting via email, because entrepreneurs don't have time to, take an extra 20 minutes to go to a coffee shop or to go meet somewhere with their advisor. So this remote access is actually being a big advantage of the program. That said, we have advisors from all 50 states, and they're distributed around all 50 states and Puerto Rico. They're also very well distributed in terms of areas of experience. 51% are people of color, 56% I believe are women, don't quote me on that one. And 46% were at some point or currently are entrepreneurs themselves. So we think those are the real advantages of the portfolio of advisors we have versus location specifically.
And then I just want to jump in. One of the parts of the question was kind of how in tune is PCV with like the local community across the country? Because I think Natalia mentioned at the start that, while we are nationwide, about half of our businesses come from California, and about half of those come from the Bay Area, and that's because that's where we're based, and that's where we're really able to really connect. So one way that we're trying to expand and have that same impact in other communities and other areas is through all of you guys.
Yes.
So we're moving into the support circle in order to help us bring that kind of localized community feel to other areas that we don't have that same kind of built-in presence. We're not physically in that area, but we're leaning into the small business support circle to help us with that. So that's one thing that we're going to ask from you, is to help us bring us into your community, bring us into your local areas in a way that we can, have that same kind of deep rootedness that we have in the Bay Area right now, all across the nation as well.
Exactly. Great point, Morgan. So that is one of the things that we hope you fill us in, for example, in our monthly check-ins that we will have as part of our partnership. Anyone we should be talking to, anything we should be taking into account, anything that's happening in your community at the time, please keep us in the loop. All right. We have another question from Kathy.
Yes. So TA comes in many forms, right? Suppose the TA they need is a feasibility study or something of the sort. Could that be covered here? Some of these normally come with a fee. Yeah, so
the way that we work around this is we like to always set the expectation with our small business owners that our advisors are here to provide help and advice and kind of help small business owners walk through a problem and put together plans of action. But there's always going to be some work associated to the mentorship relationship they'll embark on. So they will tell you, help you put together a plan, but the actual execution of the plan will still be in the hands of the small business owner. That said, we're working on a couple of potential partnerships with, for example, the JBS organization here in San Francisco is putting together a cohort of accounting fellows that they're training. And there we'll be able to, for example, provide very specific services, not just advice, but actually work on specific finance operations and QuickBooks related projects. So we're starting to experiment with these models. We're still working the ins and outs of this partnership, for example. So that is something that may come in the future. But as of now, we ask the small business owner to keep in mind that this is mostly to be a sounding board. The advisors are going to put projects together with you, and then they can set the stage and work with the advisors. There are some advisors that are more hands-on and will maybe to providing some more hands-on support. But in general, we expect the small business owner to take it and run with it, if you will. And that's also so that, you know, they can feel more empowered to do this. For example, they can put together a plan for putting together a feasibility study, and maybe after that they could feel empowered to learn how to do that themselves. So our advisors are going to point you towards resources, going to help you put together the plans, etc. But they may not do the actual thing yourself, but they may equip you and point you in the right direction so small business owners feels empowered to do it. All right. More questions.
Other questions? Yes. Go ahead and post them in the chat box or the Q&A box. Either one works.
So maybe while we wait for the questions, Morgan, can you talk a little bit about our monthly check-ins and how those work? I'm not sure if we covered that enough.
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing that we'll do when we first kick off our partnership, our relationship together, is set up a recurring meeting. And this could be monthly, quarterly, whatever makes sense for our partnership and whatever makes sense for your schedule. And we'll use this time to check in on the data share document, get a sense of where your small businesses are in the process and how many folks we're able to reach through this partnership. We'll also use that time, like Natalia mentioned, to check in on kind of what's happening in your community. If there are any questions that are arising or any trends or things that we should know about. Anything that we can do together, whether it be a webinar on a specific topic or to hop in on a presentation somewhere, anything like that. We'll also talk through any kind of specific individualized cases. If we get some really great feedback about a great partnership that we want to share, we'll let you know. Or if you hear some questions or concerns from anyone on your side, you can bring them up in this meeting as well. Yeah, and it's just a time that we dedicate to focus and check in on this partnership. And we'll have it on the calendar, so it's always kind of top of mind. It's always a great idea to just take a breath and take a moment to reflect on what we're doing and connect to, share about what's going on in each of our organizations. And then while we do have these set recurring meetings, Natalia and I will be available at any time. If there's a question that comes up in the meantime, feel free to share over email or give us a call. We're available any other time as well.
All right. Great. We have a few more minutes. So any other questions? Also, we're going to be sharing the slides and there's a lot of links. So we invite you to go in, check on the links, explore yourself. And I am sure that's going to trigger a lot more questions. So we're just one email away, like Morgan was saying. Just send us any and all questions, ideas you may have to how to make this process better. We'll love any suggestions at all. And also, if you're interested in, for example, complementing the referral process with more general referrals or links like Brian was mentioning, let us know, because we can give you a special link that we can then track, so we can also get an idea of how many folks are coming from that link, etc. So let us know any ideas, thoughts. Morgan is going to follow up with everyone with the slides and also with your referral partner packet that is going to include all of the documents that we've referred to today. Right. If there's not any more questions, I think we can give you 8 minutes back of your life to go enjoy the sunshine.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for everyone for joining. Like Natalia mentioned, I'll follow up soon with all of the links and all of the presentation.